Okay, I had to address this situation about Kanye West and the White Lives Matter shirt at his Paris fashion show. Okay. I mean, at this point, I had hope for Kanye. I really did, because I do understand what it's like to lose your mother too soon and the psychological effects that that can have on you. This is why he is susceptible to persuasion and also being in that family. So I do understand that, and people are talking about he's mentally ill. I do not laugh at people who are going through mental illness and having a hard time. That's not funny. And usually the one who's laughing is one slight tragedy away from losing it themselves. Just to address this off the top, it can be shut down by asking just one question. When in the history of these United States, Northern and Southern, have white lives been in danger of death simply for them existing, wait, by non-white groups coming together, or a non-white group? That's the question. I'm going to need something to point me in the direction when white lives have never mattered, when somebody looked at a white person on a massive scale, and I'm talking about Jim Crow level type stuff, by a non-white group or a group of people of color, just offing them for absolutely nothing. Go ahead and leave it in the comment section. But I can answer that for you. Never. White lives at one point were the only things that matter. So let's tell the truth. The Black Lives Matter organization is different than the hashtag, because I personally use the hashtag myself. I have never sat up here and thought or said or wrote anything about Black Lives Matter thinking of the organization, because the organization was a scam. It was alleged George Soros was the white face behind the organization. And Black Lives Matter, they were around since 2003. They got black faces to kill the organic uprising that was taking place. And these black faces, they stole money and have sullied the Black Lives Matter name. This is no different than the assassination of Martin Luther King. This is no different than the assassination of Malcolm X. This is no different than the president that was assassinated in Haiti. It's no different. When I first heard that, I'm like, come on, they got these two black guys up there saying, they turned against him and they were working just on their own, as if anybody was going to buy that bullshit. And these women who were propped up here, black skin, you can always find someone who looks like the people that you want to infiltrate, and you can give them crumbs because they've had nothing. They've been in the state they're in, and they have this mindset where they have a choice to make. It's no different than Judas. It is a choice that you make. It's either you're going to go ahead and see this through. I mean, you can see the vision, you can see what can be, but then you're offered this tangible thing that could help you out in some way. It's usually absolutely peanuts to the person who's giving it to you, but they need you to tear this down, and that never rattles around in the back of that person's head. It's just they can do this thing and they can be rewarded for this. It's more than they've ever seen in their life. 30 pieces of silver to betray someone who is shown and proven what they can do. They've always been around. That spirit continues in today. I will never forget Darren Seals and how he was set up and he was murdered. That's what they do to people who are trying to push for actual change. They'll either do it themselves, but more likely they know in this day and age, you don't even have to get a speck of dirt on you. You can go find somebody who looks like those people and they'll take care of it. Now, personally, I will continue to use the hashtag because it is rooted in awareness, but the organization, I can definitely say the people who were running it, they were scammers. The double-edged sword is not only did they come in to get this money and to scam, and they only had tunnel vision, but as they were doing it, and if shit hit the fan, whole movement, the energy behind this would be torn down. Problem solved. The black women that use Black Death to get rich, they are going straight to hell. There will always be a black face to stop the positive energy toward black people progressing. You cannot have this system stand and have black people progressing. They have to slow it down as much as they possibly can. Kanye West saying this may seem like, yes, he's telling the truth. And, you know, a lot of people who are discriminatory, bigoted, and racist towards black people, they 100% stand behind Kanye West. And he is doing more harm than he is good. And like I said, he has tunnel vision, no different than the women who were scamming in the organization. They have tunnel vision. They cannot see the forest for the trees at all. They would never win the war because they only see the battle and there's no strategy. Now, just like when Kanye stood up there and said,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Kanye West doesn't care about black people. He is deep in the sunken place and he doesn't understand the effects of what he's doing. He's empowering Blue Lives Matter and All Lives Matter against black people, not considering the real pain of the families that lost loved ones. He is no different than the organization he is talking about. What has he done to help the families he feel the organization scammed? This shows no one really gives a fuck about black lives. They commodify the dead bodies. The Black Lives Organization, the mainstream media, and Kanye did it for his fashion show. And I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh The landscape of the city has changed dramatically, tragically, and perhaps irreversibly. There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all. Please call.
In the past few days,